we do have x and what? Or really cosine and what?
Sine.
Cosine and what? Alright. So you and I, we're gonna talk about angle and then input and output. What is x? What does x represent? What? Angle. In what? Radian. And what's the output? So when I say f of x equals sine x and then y. This is an angle in radian, and this is a what? This is a what? Well, first of all, look at the y value. What is this over here? This is 1 what? 1 what?
1 0.
And this is what? And this is what? And this is what? 0 negative 1, right? Right? Which of them am I interested in here? The x or the y? If I'm graphing f of x equals sine x.
The y.
The y. So I'm interested in this, right? That's what I'm interested in, right? So let's just build a table. If I want to build a table here, what would my table look like? Okay? So let's start pay attention to how we're going to do this. And don't just pay attention. Starting with this. This is the angle 0 in radian, right? But 0 what?
0 1.
Mm-hmm.
You mean 1 0.
Mm-hmm.
0 0.
This has nothing to do with it. This is cosine. We are graphing sine.
Right.
So remember, if you have a point, that's cosine x and sine what? We are doing only this. So when the angle is 0, the value is what? 0. That's what we got. A 0 was
0
0. So notice how the circle itself is 4 quadrants, right? That's why we divided the period into 1, 2, 3, what?
4.
And that's standard in trigonometry. Every period should be divided into 4 sub-intervals.
Right.
Okay? Even when we do transformation. So let's pay attention. What happens from 0 to pi over 2? Is sine increasing or decreasing?
Increase.
Well, let's see. We take an angle, that's the sine, right? We take a bigger angle, that's the sine. So when the angle is getting bigger here, also the value is getting what?
Bigger.
So we are increasing from 0 to what? To pi over what?
Right.
So what happened at pi over 2? What's the answer?
1.
1. So you see pi over 2 gets you what?
1.
So that's the first right there. Increasing. Okay? In the first what?
5.
Now what happened from pi over 2 to pi? Decreasing. Okay? Actually also it's kind of like symmetric, right? So what happened when it's pi?
It's 1. 0.
It's a what?
0.
0. Notice something. When it's 0, it's 0, right? When it's pi, it's what?
0.
Also, when it's 2 pi, it's what? So where are the x-intercepts here? All the x-intercepts are multiples of what?
5.
Pi. That's why, what did we say about the x-intercept? K pi? K is a what? Integer.
So
Actually, it is K pi and what? K pi and what? Yes.
So since it repeats in the pi, does that mean that's your amplitude? Because that's a
Yeah, the amplitude is negative 1, it's 1. So the amplitude is from negative 1 to 1, which is 2 units divided by 2 is just what?
1.
Half of that. Okay. So pay attention. Increasing and then what?
Decreasing.
Decreasing, right? And then increasing, decreasing. Continue what?
Decreasing.
And then what?
Increase.
Increase. So where are the 1 and the negative 1, the pi over 2 and the 3 pi over 2, and we continue, right? All those are multiples of pi over what? Everyone gives you the amplitude, right? So the multiple of pi over 2 gives you the what? What's the amplitude? 1. What's the domain from negative infinity to positive what? And what's the range From negative 1 to what? Which is understandable, from negative 1 to what? I pay attention. So the period is 2 what?
2 pi.
The amplitude is what?
1.
So the x-intercept for the sine function. So I need some values where the sine is 0. Here, here, right? So 0, and then what? Pi, and then what? 2 pi, and then 3 pi, and then 4 pi, and then 5 pi, and then 6 pi. All the multiple of what? All the multiples of pi. You see they vary between pi and pi over what? 2. Either they're going to be multiples of pi over 2 or multiples of what? Pi. But they cannot be multiples of pi over 2 because pi over 2 gives you what kind of sign value? What kind of sign value? 1, right? So watch something here. Pi over 2, 3 pi over 2, right? Right? If I want to continue, it'll be 5 pi over 2, 7 pi over what? You see how we skip, right? Okay, pay what? So this is called the graph of the sine what? So if I were you, when I graph sine, I want to repeat. I'm going to show you a process that you're going to be repeating about 10 million times until this becomes second nature to you. X and what? The amplitude, right? 0, pi over 2, pi, which is 2 pi over 2, 3 pi over 2, and 2 what? I need the sine function, right? So what is 0? 0 for the sine function is 0, 0, right? Pi over 2 is 1, right? Always we do this. 1 and what? They help us. Pi over 2 is what? So now I know all the multiples of pi over 2 are going to be what? Either 1 or what? Pi over 2, 1. And then 3 pi over 2, what? Negative what? 1. So the pi. But the 0 is 0, the pi also is what? 0. And then the 2 pi is what? 0. So the x-intercept are here, here, and here, right? Okay, watch how we're going to do that. Increasing, decreasing, and what? You kind of want to make sure they're symmetrical. Okay? All right? So you're going to repeat this. So, what's my amplitude? 1. What's my period? 2 pi. What's my domain? What's my range? What are my x-intercepts? Either multiples of pi over 2 or multiples of what? Pi. But they are multiples of pi. K pi. K belongs to z, which means k is an integer. So we have k pi 0. Right? That's it. This process has to be repeated a lot of times for you to be able to graph what, sine what. No, he's going to explain to you the fact that this is the repetition of the sine what. We already understand this. For the cosine function, let's try to graph cosine human being. I'm not looking at this. So let's try to graph what? Here's x, and here's the amplitude. Again, the cosine is the same as what? Period, right? So 0, pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, and what? 2 what? And here's my unit circle. This time I want cosine, right? But still, this is 1 what? And this is 0 what?
1.
Negative 1 what?
0, 1,
And then 0 what? But now I want which one? That's what I want, right? So this is f of x equal cosine x. Again, the input is an angle, the output is a ratio, x, y. So if the angle is 0, definitely the value is what?
1.
So I'm going to do this as 1, and this as what? Negative what? So 0, 1. right?
Yes.
So if it's pi over 2, what's pi over 2?
0.
0. So pi over 2 is what?
0.
Notice if pi over 2 over 0, also 3 pi over 2 is going to be
0.
what? 0. And if this is 0. So what happened between 0 and pi over 2? This is an angle, watch what cosine is, right? This is a bigger angle, watch what cosine is. When the angle became bigger, what happened to the cosine? So that's decreasing, right? So look, from here to here, we're going to decrease, right? And if 0 gave you 1, pi going to give you negative what? Negative 1. So we're going to decrease, right? We're going to keep decreasing right here. And then 3 pi over 2 is going to give you another x what?
0.
Intercept, right? And then 2 pi is going to give you what? That's it. That's your cosine what? Cosine what? So let's build a card for this graph. What does this graph look like? Well, domain is negative infinity, infinity. Period is 2 pi. I know that. Amplitude is 1. Range is negative 1, 1. I need my x-intercept. So notice how your x-intercept is pi over 2 with 3 pi over 2. We skip, right? So it is k pi over 2, but it's not enough to say k pi over 2. So what is k? K is an odd what? Odd, of course, could be positive or what?
Negative.
K is an odd what?
So when we write our answer, we gotta put that K at whatever it is.
Because what do we do? Customary speaking, how do you find the x-intercept? It's a point, right? Well, that's what it is. Then what is the y-intercept? Well, the y-intercept, look to me that in this case, it is 0 what? 0. Notice, you cannot have more than one y-intercept, otherwise it will stop being a y. Right? You're going to repeat the same process about 10 million times. There's a part in here I cannot help you with. No matter how hard I try to help. It is the study, the how we will get familiar. Some of you are asking, where's my homework? I'm about